Dear Professor Lamont, dear EMPM graduates, oh, that's the spirit, yeah. Dear incoming students, yeah. Dear alumni, dear families and friends, dear members of the faculty and staff, welcome to the opening of the academic year 2012-2013. This joint event, it's the EMPM graduation ceremony and the inauguration of the new academic year, is somewhat of a hybrid. Right? But I think it's also a wonderful occasion for the entire Hertie community to mingle and meet one another. And hopefully there will be a lot of mingling today. In this hall, we have the largest cohort of entering MPP students, the class of 2014, sitting back there largely. And it's not only a cohort that is somewhat larger than the one we had last year, but it's also one with considerable quality. And I say so judging by the academic credentials and the backgrounds these students bring to the school. We also have the largest graduating cohort of the EMPM students, and I'm very proud to say it's also the most international one we had so far. There are also 27 new members of the EMPM program joining us today, and there are among us 9 PhD students, our first cohort entering the doctoral program. And last but not least, we're also welcoming 18 dual degree students and 19 exchange students, and that too is the highest number of students from our partner institutions to date. The EMPM students, I'm sure that Gerhard Hammerschmidt is much better placed at talking about your achievements and commenting on your experience while here at the school, so I leave that to him. Let me simply congratulate you on graduating from the school today and to wish you all the best for the future. Please keep in touch and remain part of the Hertie School community by becoming an active member of the alumni community, and perhaps even by serving as a mentor to future students. As for those who are just joining us, you will know that you are entering a relatively young institution. And we hope that you will find that can-do spirit still alive, still being felt in the process of your studies here and the time you spent with us. We may no longer be the startup we were some years ago, but we're still young at heart and going strong. Please think of the Hertie School as your school. There are numerous student activities which you will be able to participate in. I'm sure that you will have heard about them during the past week, during orientation week, but let me iterate how important it is that you, the students, contribute to making this place work. So become a student representative, help organize the ambassador series, write for the student magazine, let off steam with the football team. We even have a name, Hertie International. I've been trying to join them for a while, but they won't let me. Or join the beekeeping club, or excel in the Hertie Cabaret. Over the past year, there have been many developments here at the school, and none of them makes us prouder than our new PhD program that we will launch this September, and we will welcome the first PhD student cohort this month. And we will inaugurate our PhD program on the 18th of September, to which you are all invited. We also continue to cultivate, and we do that actively and very much on purpose, a flourishing culture of debate and public events. And we invite you to participate in them as much as you can. We have several colloquia series, numerous panel debates throughout the year, and we host major public events, frequently with media partners, and sometimes via satellite and video link to places like Ramallah, Cairo, Sao Paulo, or Rangoon. We welcomed numerous politicians, heads of state, ministers over the last few years, And just earlier this week, we had former President Köhler meet with some of our students to discuss the future of the European Union. And in November, I'm sure that we will have live events here to accompany the US election night, and we very much look forward to that event as well. In fact, a frequent complaint we hear from students, and I'm actually very proud that students are complaining about this, is that we have too much going on. But I think that's the way we are. So in the past 2 years, the faculty has also been very active. I'm very, very proud to say that we have what by many measures is the most productive faculty in this part of the world. The faculty together published nearly 200 publications, about 20 books, and nearly 60 refereed articles. And it is a publication record that we can all be proud of. There are several large research projects that were launched just in the last year or so. Gerhard Hammerschmidt has a project looking at the public sector, the future of the public sector in the European Union, and Alina PBD has a European Union project on anti-corruption and state building. These are just some examples of the kind of research that the faculty is engaged in. It was also announced in the summer that the Hertie School is to be made a full member of the Global Public Policy Network this autumn, and GPPN, as it is called, is a network that brings together some of the leading public policy schools in the world. And as the youngest kid on the block, if you look at the other places that have been about for 100 or 200 years, sometimes even longer, we're of course very proud and privileged to join the ranks. We have started a recruitment drive for new faculty members. We have several ongoing searches, and I'm delighted to be welcoming 2 new members of the faculty here. First, I would like to recognize Joanna Mayer, Professor of Organization Management Leadership. She joins us from Stanford and Barcelona. And I'd also like to welcome Björn Niehaves, the incoming Professor of E-Governance and Innovation, and he joins us from Münster and Helsinki. And finally, I'd also like to mention Antraut Hartmann. She joined as an adjunct professor and will teach in the economics program. We're also pleased to announce that we have 2 very distinguished senior fellows joining the school this year. One is Norbert Röttgen, the former Minister for the Environment, and Hans-Georg Knopp, the former Chief or Secretary General of the Goethe Institute, which is the cultural institute of the German government. Ladies and gentlemen, this was just a glimpse of some of the major developments at the school, and it now is my privilege to introduce you to a very, very distinguished scholar and friend. Our keynote speaker today is Professor Michele Lamont, one of the leading sociologists of her generation, and I think one of the first sociologists, female sociologists, to be appointed at Harvard. She is, at Harvard, the Robert I. Goodman Professor of European Studies and Professor of Sociology and African American Studies at Harvard. She holds a degree from the University of Paris and from the University of Ottawa. Before joining Harvard, she had positions at Stanford, at Princeton, and at the University of Texas, Austin, to name just 3 of her stations before moving to Cambridge. Professor Lamont specializes in the sociology of inequality, race and ethnicity, the sociology of knowledge and of higher education. She has an interest in theory building and, most importantly, and I think that's how we first encountered each other, in comparative sociology. Professor Lamont, we're so privileged to have you here. The floor is yours.